Get great sound with the ATOTO CS101SW10 inch low-profile amplified subwoofer. With 150 watts RMS and 400 watts peak power, this powerful sub will fit nicely in your vehicle without taking up much space. Enjoy deep bass anytime you're on the road. It features a compact enclosure and built-in amplifier. You can enjoy its lightweight, small size, and easy installation. With its all-in-one design and compact dimensions of 13.6 inch x 9.6 inch x 2.7 inch, this subwoofer offers more installation options. All ports and plugs are on one side for effortless adjustment. Low-level inputs are suitable for most OEM and aftermarket head units with RCA outputs. If your head unit doesn't have RCA outputs, you can still enjoy the sound quality with this subwoofer by using high-level input connections. To install, connect the positive and negative terminals to the car battery and connect the remote turn-on cable to the head unit. The low-pass filter is adjustable from 50 Hz, 150 Hz, allowing you to tailor the sound to your specific preferences. Variable gain control and bass enhancement can further strengthen the bass. With a frequency response of 20 Hz, 250 Hz, this subwoofer can produce deep, rich bass tones. The signal-to-noise ratio is greater than 90 dB for clear, distortion-free sound. Phase control is adjustable between 0 degrees and 180 degrees, which means you can make the low-pitch sound more in phase with other speakers to produce louder bass. With its wired remote gain control, you can easily adjust input gain without leaving your seat to match the original sound system and ensure that all speakers complement each other. Its AIPT alloy voice cone offers enhanced sound quality. The fully covered mesh grille protects the speaker and cools it effectively. Thermal, overload, and short-circuit protection ensure reliable performance and prolonged lifespan. Welcome to use this product. ATOTO CS101SW is dedicated to bringing you the best audio-visual enjoyment.
The system includes everything you need to upgrade the non-premium factory sound system in the brand new Jeep JL. Also included in the kit is all the wiring required to do the installation. I know it looks like a lot, but it is all pre-wired with connectors on all the ends. Everything plugs into a T-harness that actually plugs in behind the radio. This will tie in with the factory wiring and give you outputs and inputs from the harness that will run down to the powered subwoofer and amplifier unit. Everything again is plug and play, so there's no splicing required. The power wire that runs out to the battery has the connectors on it already. You run them, which we will cover, you run down through the floor of the vehicle and then it will connect to the main harness, which will supply power. There's also adapters included if you're installing this system using an aftermarket radio versus the factory radio, which we'll cover during the installation, but those are included with the kit as well as a bass control knob, and this will allow you to control the output of the subwoofer while listening to music without having to adjust it at the actual amplifier. It also includes our Type R tweeters that will replace the factory tweeters up on the dash. They're pre-assembled in factory-specific JL brackets, along with the crossovers that are pre-wired with the Wrangler connectors on the end, so there's no splicing required. It's a drop-in plug-and-play install. And then we also include Alpine badges to put on the tweeter covers after the install is complete.
I'm going to show you and talk about some of the features of the VPAS10 active subwoofer and explain why this is probably the most popular underseat style subwoofer on the market today. So let's take a look what comes in the box. Here we have the sub and the bass remote, which is included in the box. All the connectors and brackets you need for installation, and a detailed user manual full of technical and install information. The Vega Power Active Subwoofer, or VPAS10, consists of an active 10-inch subwoofer amplified for extreme output. Encased in a solid cast aluminium body frame for superior heat dissipation, the VPAS10 is compact enough for installation in the tightest of spaces without sacrificing performance. Unlike lots of other underseat subwoofers that lack the output, the VPAS10 really does pack a punch and is a bit of an animal. In a recent test, the VPAS10 read 3 dB louder than its nearest competitor. The slim yet sturdy VPAS10 comes measuring in approximately 13.6 inches by 9.6 inches by 2.6 inches. Power comes from a PWM MOSFET power supply with an integrated thermal protection circuit. The VPAS10 is rated at 200 watts RMS at 2 ohm or 400 watt max. Features include auto power turn on, bass boost, adjustable line input sensitivity, phase switch and RCA and high level inputs. Unlike lots of other brands, Cerwin-Vega products are developed and manufactured by Cerwin-Vega themselves in their own state-of-the-art factory. Let's have a look at the detail. As you can see, the VPAS10 houses a specially developed ultra-low profile 10-inch Vega subwoofer to give maximum exertion and really hit those low bass notes. Down here is where all the interesting stuff happens. We have the power input terminal that will accept 8 gauge input, low level RCA input, high level or speaker level inputs, the remote control port, the input gain control, the Vega bass boost to increase the frequencies, a low pass filter, auto power on button for high level input, the phase shift button which helps compensate for time alignment issues, and power and protect indicators.
The HS8 Hideaway has been massively successful for Kicker for many years, so we challenged our team of engineers to come up with the next big thing, or should I say little thing. What they came up with is called the Hideaway HS10. The HS10 improves over the HS8 by adding more power, 180 watts versus 150, and a larger woofer, 10-inch versus 8-inch. And it's almost the same size as the HS8. In fact, if you already have an HS8, like I do my Mazda CX-5, you can actually unplug the harness from the 8 and install the 10, and you're done. Super, super simple. The improvements of the 10 versus the 8, obviously more cone area, more power, but in addition, we have increased the input voltage for the high-level input. If you've got a truly high-powered factory-installed audio system, but you still need more bass, the high-level inputs will accept up to 40 volts, which is the equivalent of 400 watts at 4 ohms. So almost any high-powered factory-installed audio system can go straight into the HS10, and you'll have great bass response. In addition, we have what's called DC offset. That means the amplifier in the Hideaway will turn itself on and off with the car. So you don't have to go trying to find a switched ignition lead. This simplifies your install dramatically. So what if you've got an aftermarket radio with RCA outputs? Well, we've got a simple addition for that as well. The KISL simply takes your RCA output and converts it to speaker level output. So the HS10 can be easily added to your aftermarket radio as well. Included with the HS10 is a remote bass knob. So if you want to dial back the bass or bump it up, you can do that remotely from your dash. Very simple installation, great bass response. Take a factory system and make it incredible, or even upgrade an aftermarket system as well. So whatever you need, great bass, small package, HS10 Hideaway. As cars get smaller, there's less and less room for a proper subwoofer system. Well, Kicker has you covered. Now introducing the Hideaway. The Hideaway uses a 150 watt amplifier and an 8-inch subwoofer to give you actual deep bass in any small vehicle. You can put this guy beneath your seat, behind your seat, in your center console, anywhere it'll physically fit, and it'll give you awesome bass. If you need just a little bit more, we also have the Kick EQ on board. It gives you a 6 decibel bump at 40 Hertz. And if you don't know what that means, turn it on and you'll understand. it will accept high or low level inputs. So if you want to use your factory radio and your factory speakers, you can do that. Simply take that amplified output from your factory radio or even your rear speakers and plug it directly into the Hideaway. Or if you're using an aftermarket radio that has RCA outputs, you can do that too. Simply using the RCA input on the Hideaway will give you that connectivity. Some days you want a little more bass than others. Remote control. You can control the Hideaway subwoofer using this very simple remote. Simply mount this on your dashboard, beneath your dashboard, even in your cup holder, and you've got instant access to the subwoofer. And of course, as all Kicker products, it goes to 11.
This is Pioneer's TSWH500A compact self-amplified subwoofer system. The system features two separate woofer diaphragms operating in conjunction with one another. The TSWH500A's unique and rugged sealed system design allows it to be installed under the seat of many vehicles, delivering big bass from a very small space. Let's take a look and see what's in the box. Oh, it's heavier than you think. Let's see here. All right, we've got a bit of packing here. I'm going to toss that aside. And we've got a few parts here. Here is the wire harness for the system. This will provide power and ground and system control from your in-dash receiver. It will also bring in signal into the system. We're going to lift the subwoofer out of here. All right, and we'll take a look at that in a moment. Some additional signal wires, input signal wires. All right, there is the owner's manual for the system. We have some mounting hardware, some screws and brackets for mounting hardware. There's a couple more. And we have the wired remote control to switch the system on and off and to change the parameters of the output. And finally, here's the warranty card. On the bottom of the TSWH500A, you have mounting connections at the corners, and the hardware is included to mount down this product. Up here at the top left, you see both the power and ground connection and the remote controller connection. The base of the TSW500A is made of very durable and heavy metal. Both the top and the bottom of the TSWH500A have a speaker diaphragm. They work in conjunction with one another to produce bass frequencies inside your vehicle. As you can see, the TSWH500A has a very small footprint. It's made to fit under the front seat of many different vehicles. This is Pioneer's TSWX130DA, compact, self-amplified subwoofer. The TSWX130DA is a very small self-amplified subwoofer that is designed to fit in tight places, like under the front seat of many vehicles, and still deliver deep bass. The system features a 160 watt max Class D amplifier and an aluminum speaker cone in a custom designed enclosure, and a digital bass control that lets you tailor the sound for your vehicle. Let's take a look and see what's in the box. All right, this thing's heavy. Let's open the panel here. All right, the first thing we see here is the wired remote control, and the wired remote control here is used to operate the subwoofer and switch it on and off, change the parameters of the sound you'll hear. So that's the wired remote included in the box. And then we have some installation hardware. There's a small pack of installation hardware here. Okay, let's get some packing out of the way here. There's some packing. I'm just going to toss that aside. And the next thing we have here is the owner's manual and warranty card in its own package there. Okay, let's pull the subwoofer up out of here. There we go, and we'll take a look at that in just a moment. And finally, we have the wire harness for the system. We'll use the wire harness here to connect power and ground to the system, certainly, but we'll also use it to connect signal to the system from your in-dash receiver. The TSWX130DA features an 8 by 5 1/4 inch aluminum woofer cone driven by a built-in 160 watt max output Class D amplifier. The subwoofer cone is covered by a strong metal mesh grille for durability. The bottom of the TSWX130DA is made of heavy and durable metal. The corner mounting brackets included with the product will attach here. Up in this corner is the control and connection panel. Here is a close-up of the connection and control panel on the bottom of the subwoofer. Here is where you'll plug in the wired remote controller. The power and ground and system remote lead will plug in right here. The signal input from the in-dash receiver will plug in right here. You can use speaker level or RCA input. Now if you're using RCA level input, just plug in your RCAs directly from the in-dash receiver right here. If you're using speaker level input, cut these RCA connections off and use these same wires for your speaker level input. Set this switch for speaker level or RCA input according to your specific installation. When using a speaker level input, set the input gain switch for the normal position. When using RCA input that is less than 4 volts, again, set the input gain switch to the normal position. When using RCA input that is equal to or greater than 4 volts, set this switch to the high position. The system is very compact, measuring only 7 7/8 by 11 by 2 3/4 inches high.
This is the SS10P 10-inch 200-watt slim underseat or trunk-mounted powered subwoofer for your car or truck. This is a true all-in-one subwoofer solution to give you great sounding bass in your vehicle without taking up a lot of space. And with 200 watts of power, the SS10P has enough power where you can either mount it in your trunk or place it under your seat and still get a nice, clean, and thumpy low-end sound throughout your whole vehicle. The SS10P combines a high-quality 10-inch subwoofer inside a sturdy and solid cast aluminum enclosure, which stays cool even under your seat, and there's an amplifier built in to power everything. The height of the whole enclosure is only 3 inches thick, which means it will literally fit anywhere in your vehicle. But you're probably wondering what the subwoofer sounds like, so let's go to Perry, who has a demo set up for us. As you saw from the demo, the SS10P is an all-in-one subwoofer solution to add a great low-end sound to your vehicle. It also comes with everything you need for a quick and easy install. It comes with mounting hardware so that if you don't want to put the subwoofer under your seat, you can mount it to the back of one of your seats or mount it in the trunk of your car. Now looking at this side of the amplifier panel, we have a 20 amp fuse, the power, remote, and ground terminals to power the unit, and then we have our RCA inputs to get signal from the output of your head unit. Right next to that, we have a high-level input port where our high-level input adapter plugs in, and you can use this if your head unit does not have any RCA outputs. This means this amplifier system will work with a stock or an aftermarket head unit. Over here, we have our bass remote knob port where you can plug in the included metal bass remote knob to control the level of the amp and sub from the front of your vehicle. This is super convenient, so you can appropriately set the gain of the amp and sub to whatever song you are listening to in real time. Over here, we have our phase switch, so you can change the phase of the subwoofer from 0 degrees to 180 degrees to ensure that the subwoofer is perfectly hitting in sync with the rest of your system, especially if you are using more than one subwoofer in your setup. And right under that, we have an auto on and off button that will work with the smart turn on to sense when an audio signal is present and turn on the amplifier. When you turn off your music, the amplifier will automatically turn itself off, but it's important to note that this is only the case when you are inputting a signal through the high level input. Next to that, we have a low pass filter to filter out high frequencies, and that ranges between 50 Hz and 180 Hz. So for example, if you set it to here around 100 Hz, it will only play frequencies of 100 Hz and below. This allows you to really target the low end frequencies you want to hear. Then we have a bass boost knob that will boost the frequencies around 45 Hz up to 12 dB. You can use this if you want a little more thumb sound from your woofer. And the last knob is our input gain knob to control the overall gain of the amplifier and sub. So if you're looking for a 10-inch 200-watt slim underseat or trunk-mounted powered subwoofer system for your car or truck, look no further than the SS10P from Rockville.
Have you ever wondered what's the difference between a premium audio system and a standard audio system in most of your factory vehicles? It's one simple thing, and it typically comes down to bass. That's right, when they add a woofer to the factory sound system, it becomes a premium audio or concert-like sound. That's because with just your mids and highs, you don't really get that enveloped deep bass sound that you're looking for. You may get a little bit of a taste of it, but you're not getting that full deep body feeling that you usually get from real good bass. That's where something like our CW-DRA8 will come in. This could easily replicate that factory OEM concert-like premium audio sound with a simple all-in-one package subwoofer that you can install in just about any vehicle, even in the tightest of spaces and smallest of trunks. As you see, the woofer is built into the enclosure, but that's not all. There's also an amplifier built into this enclosure as well. So this means that this is an all-in-one package that can be easily installed in many different vehicles no matter what their size constraints are. We also made sure to include everything that you would need to install and set up this system in your vehicle properly. Take, for example, the power connection harness. Here you'll see you have your power, ground, and remote turn on that you need to provide power for the amplifier. And here is your line input adapter. This will allow you to tie into your OEM speakers, providing signal for the amplifier to play your music. We even included a wired remote. This can be set up near the driver, allowing you to have custom adjustments over the volume level that the subwoofer produces, as well as frequency control and even a phase switch. As a good example of its compact size, let's take a look at this installation in a 2017 Chevy Colorado. Here you will see me plugging in the provided power harness adapter, as well as the wired remote control. Notice that the brackets keep the wires tight against the bottom of the woofer and maintain a flat surface. We're using the included brackets to securely mount the subwoofer enclosure. This ensures that the subwoofer enclosure stays in place and you get the best performance. So in conclusion, if you're looking for an option to improve the sound in your car stereo, the CW-DRA8 makes a perfect option when you're looking for something that's both compact and affordable.